Go south, as far south as it is possible to travel. Journey to the very end of the earth. And you will find yourself in a place that is frozen in time. Go south, to a place that has never known war, that belongs to no nation, that is home to no tribe or clan or indigenous race. This is Antarctica, the loneliest, coldest, driest place on Earth. And yet, even here, we have left our mark. We're going to the most hopeful place on Earth, Antarctica. The only place that we all own.
If you survive that bit, great.
I get to meet everyone today, like I met my group and that was so cool because they all seem like wonderful people, so there's nothing for me to be afraid of.
Welcome, welcome. Everybody good?
We're all good.
And I want to absorb everything that there is. I want to be able to carry this experience back and be able to translate it in the words that people understand.
I struggled a little bit at the beginning, and we all worked on each other's strengths and we built a relationship as a team, and it was fantastic. And we made it to the top. Yay!
So I really hope to be inspired, and I'm genuinely committed to making a difference. So I hope to learn.
Hey! Woo! Yay!
You know, a team has to come together. Team just doesn't happen. And all of those experiences back in their own countries forms this friendship, forms this bond, which means that that team stays together to do the real work, which is to make sure that we're looking after our environment and inspiring other people.
There's probably a lot of people who don't don't think about it at all. And so it's not on their radar and maps at all. So I see an organization like 2041 creates a voice really for Antarctica and the community and just a broader sustainability.
A little bit of madness going on, just getting everybody through the dock gates and then onto the Sea Spirit.
Excitement is record high.
It's all happening.
Like right now, it's just anticipating what to expect, what not to expect, but amazing group of people. I'm just so happy that I'm here.
We're now moving into a moment where we are totally self-contained on board the Sea Spirit. We have a finite resource for the next 12 days, and that always gives me a really big sense of urgency about the finite resources of our planet. That why we're here is important. It's not just words. We need action, we need engagement, and we need commitment. Arriving in the Antarctic, for me, the first thing that I think about are the real explorers who came here. Those people on their wooden ships with frozen hands, not knowing if there was land ahead of them. They didn't know whether they would get back home. And that sense of how did they do that? Well, I think it's down to three things. One is they certainly had to agree on their common vision. All the people on the ship made a choice to reach Antarctica. Secondly, they had to have clear and extremely positive leadership. You must be positive. You must inspire your team. Third is that they used the technology, the best technology and innovation of their time to survive here. Here we are, Le Maire Channel. We've arrived at last. Really exciting, great weather, fantastic views, and the team is so excited. It seems like we've been on the expedition for weeks already, but this is actually day one in Antarctica. So cool.
I think Antarctica is a place that you can't describe in words. It's a place that you describe from your heart.
Got tears of joy at the moment. I've waited 5 years to come here, and I am just so happy it's beyond words.
How do you describe something so beautiful, so grand, just amazing?
We need to move back. That way we can try to keep you as dry as we can in this.
Test that kit to make sure it's working, as I'm doing right now.
The world is entering the unknown. The population of our planet now exceeds 7 billion people. By 2050, it'll be exceeding 9 billion people. There's a huge drag now on energy, on water, on resources.
It's a perfect world. You know, it's my first time to Atlantic, so I feel very good, very good.
I don't know how to describe it. It's just fantastic. Everything's good. Even the cold wind is good.
Science is telling us that if we warm our planet to this degree or that degree, these things will happen, these things might happen. So we are really entering the unknown. We don't know how the future of our survival here on planet Earth is going to pan out. What we do know is that science is telling us, science is confirming to us that we are making man-made changes here on Earth. It's not an issue anymore. Here in Antarctica, we see where the great ice caps are melting. We see every year changes. We see more rocks exposed. We see whole areas where you say, hang on, can that be the same place we were at last year? We're making our landing here on Couvreville Island. After the really serious hurricane force winds yesterday, things have calmed down, fabulous weather, and we're having our first classroom in the cold.
If the ice melts, as it was mentioned yesterday, the sea can rise about 60 meters, and that could wipe out so many places around the world. At least my home will be totally underwater.
So Antarctica is literally and figuratively speaking for me a white canvas.
So there are places even in our countries that should be just left alone, because it needs to be left that way.
I can't articulate it. I got to at least demonstrate with my actions.
If business takes up productivity and sustainability seriously, it is actually impacting the bottom line of the business itself.
Just listening to people's engagement with Antarctica, and it's just great that they're learning lessons from each other and from this magnificent place. It touches me.
We're basically custodians of this earth, and it's really our job and our duty to protect it. As we're all here, we've become the champions for this.
The course, we're going to set up the station on how to do rest steps, how to do road speed travel.
Fall right into your elbows and kick your feet in.
Yeah!
I was born to camp tonight in Antarctica, right here. It's extremely scary, but I'm going to do it. And tomorrow when I survive, please get me some chocolate. Come on!
72 people, 22 nations, and we're a reflection in some way of the entire planet. Oh, this is just too much.
The place itself taught me to listen, because when you listen you tend to learn a lot and to observe more.
It also really fuels my inspiration to go back to my home country and really make a difference. It's really, you know, that dormant flame that was burning inside me has really become like a blazing inferno.
And it goes brain and it goes my heart, and I will bring it this one to back to Korea and share and make them inspire.
Really worth it to be here.
You will not save our world by sending people an email, forwarding some depressing YouTube video talking about the problems. We now must engage on the solutions. Welcome to Bellingshausen. The sun is shining, and to engage on solutions is often really, really hard. You've got to convince people to perhaps sacrifice, make changes in their lives.
It is very imperative that in this present world we promote green technology. And green technology and clean technology is getting better and affordable nowadays. It can be a combination of various technologies, but if we can start doing this at our home in our daily lives, we can definitely change the world and save our planet.
I think the Antarctic Treaty is a wonderful example of how a global community can come together and create an international platform where different communities and countries can work together for a common goal.
Right behind me is a piece of the Larsen B ice shelf that broke off in 2002, and when people say to you, is climate change happening, you've actually seen it, because this should not be here, okay? It is sad, but I want you to go away feeling positive that we can do something about this, okay?
Being in Antarctica puts everything in perspective in terms of climate change. We have our team member who comes from the Maldives who explained that if the sea rises of 1 meter due to climate change, the whole of the Maldives will disappear. That means a whole civilization, a whole country, a whole population will have to move away. This is just not acceptable. We must act now.
They made it through the crevasse fields. The entire glacier is just full of holes everywhere, and we're able to blaze a nice trail for them to come through, and they really championed well. Plus, all the skills that they learned from which way to put the ropes, how to do their knots, they did it well. I'm so proud of these guys for what they've done.
people here open their mind to learn, open their mouths to share, open their eyes to watch and observe, and open their ears to listen to the others. But the most important thing here is people here open their hearts to love, to respect, and to accept each other, to experience and to work together.
Hi, this is Rob. Just remember, please, that Antarctica will always be here. Thanks so much for coming, sharing this fantastic experience with each other, and stay in touch. This is Rob Swan, message end.